Hi, my name's Kip Lee, and I'm a safety specialist for Safe Step Walk-In Tub Company. I do estimates for them. I go to people's homes and visit, and so I wanted to do a series of videos to hopefully help people understand more about walk-in tubs if they were interested. So I hope you find this useful. Keep in mind, I'm actually shooting this in the back of my van, which has a walk-in tub in it. So when I come to your house, you can actually see what it looks like. But if you hear some background noise, this isn't professional. You'll probably figure that out. But I do know a lot about the walk-in tub business. There's a car going by right now. I do know a lot about walk-in tubs, so hopefully you'll find this helpful. We're going to do a whole series of these, so as you get them, if you want to, watch them. Hopefully they'll be helpful and you'll like them. Anyways, when I go to people's homes on an estimate, a lot of times they'll say, Kip, why should I buy your tub? What's the big difference? They all look the same to me. And if I were a consumer watching this on TV or looking in a magazine, frankly, they all kind of do look the same. So what I usually share with people is that it's not necessarily the tub you buy, because we want you to get a tub if you need a tub. If you've got balance problems, if you've got diabetes, if you've got any host of different ailments, which we'll talk about later, you need a tub. So get one. We don't care if it's from us or another company you see on TV or someone you choose on your own or whatever. But just get one because you need one. But people say, Kip, what's the difference in your tub and everybody else's? And I say, the biggest difference, I think, one of the biggest differences is the company, not necessarily the tub. Safe Step was started about 10 years ago by a man named Mike. He had a tragedy happen in his life, and as so often happens with people, tragedy makes you get off of your behind and do something. His grandmother was 93 years old, and she was the picture of health. She never spent a day in the hospital except giving birth to a couple kids. She still drove a car, so she was really doing very well. But one morning she was getting out of the bathtub and she slipped, and when she fell, she broke her hip and broke a couple ribs, and worst of all, hit her head. And they rushed her to the hospital. Fortunately, somebody was home. Sometimes people lay there for days, but somebody was home. They got her to the hospital and started putting her back together. About a month later, she got out, but she wasn't herself. And make a long story short, or try, 9 months later, she passed away. And it really broke Mike's heart. She was his love, and so Mike is not a man to sit idle and not do something when he sees something. And his mom was getting up in years as well, and he didn't want that to happen to her. So he started calling around. There weren't very many walk-in tub companies 10 years ago, but he started calling around, had a couple come out. Frankly, he didn't like the tub. He didn't like the salespeople. He didn't like the way they did business. He didn't like much of any of it. And he figured probably people would feel the same way. They had to buy one out of necessity. So he decided that he was going to get into the walk-in tub business. It's funny how tragedy sometimes will give you inspiration, and it did for him. So he actually owned a factory where they made fiberglass parts already. They made boats, and they made camper shells, and it's a similar process. And he thought that the way they sold walk-in tubs, the way the companies that came out and saw him and his mom, was wrong. Every tub was made to order. We call it a la carte, or cafeteria style. In other words, if you want a certain feature. If you wanted lights or if you wanted jets or whatever you wanted, you ordered, and then they made that tub especially for you. That's not a very efficient way to manufacture things. So he thought to himself that if you could manufacture walk-in tubs like cars and make 2 or 3 different models that would appeal to almost everybody, that would be a much more efficient way to do things. That way you could warehouse tubs, and you could make them in bunches rather than just making one at a time to fit somebody's wants and needs. A lot of times they don't even really know what they want or need. So he made models like a XS and a XL and an EXL, just like cars, except ours were a soaker tub, a air tub, and a fully loaded tub. And I'll explain all that later, but bottom line is there were 3 different tubs he made. He thought if he could do that, he could probably sell the tubs for $3,000 to $5,000 less than these other companies, help a lot more people, and probably make a lot of money in the process, because we're all in business to make a profit. We're not going to hide that. So he made a mold and he made a tub, and his mom loved it, and she started telling her friends about it, and of course some of them wanted one, and thus SafeStep was born. The biggest difference in SafeStep, and there's 3 other big companies on the market. I probably shouldn't mention names, but you'll figure them out if you think about it in a minute. All of those tubs are publicly held companies. That means they have stockholders. And when you're accountable to stockholders, your first accountability is making a profit. I mean, that's why people buy stocks, right? To make a profit. So Mike decided he would never be a publicly held company. Matter of fact, he's been offered over 20 times to buy SafeStep from him. In the last 10 years, we've become by far the largest walk-in tub company in the industry. We do 3 times as many tubs as the next 4 companies put together. That's a lot of tubs. We're going to do over 15,000 of them this year, so that's a lot of tubs. But, you know, Mike takes this whole business personally. He got it started because of his grandmother, and he doesn't forget that. We've got a division of our company called SafeStep Cares, and we give a tub away a month to a needy child or a veteran or just somebody who plain old couldn't afford a tub. A lot of times they go in homes that the tub's probably worth more than the house. But it's those people's homes, they love them, and they need a tub. There's a 3-year wait list right now to get a walk-in tub from SafeStep Cares. So there's a long list. But I've never known of a company to do anything like that. SafeStep has a heart, and that's what I tell my customers. If you want to buy a walk-in tub, be sure the company that you're buying it from, the bottom line isn't just profit. Because there's a lot of tub companies out there that really haven't made very many advancements in their tubs in the last 10 years. SafeStep's tub, from the first tub we made to now, you wouldn't recognize. And it's because every year we spend more in research and development than the next 10 companies combined. You can afford to do that when you're not reporting to stockholders. And you don't have to show a certain dividend or your stock is going to drop in value. Don't get me wrong, Mike's doing pretty well for himself, and this walk-in tub business has turned out to be pretty good. But our tubs are $3,000 to $5,000 less than most of them on the market. At least comparable ones. And we give you a ton more features that you need. And if you're going to buy a walk-in tub, you should at least consider SafeStep, because we really do have a heart. We have a veterans program set up, so if you're a veteran, we can give you some big discounts. So you have to be disabled, of course, not just we do give veterans discounts, but disabled veterans we give really big discounts. And we try to help everybody. We've got financing available. We've got same as cash, where you don't pay any interest for a couple years. We come out to your house. We show you the tub. I say I've got a van. You might have seen it in another video, and if you haven't, you'll see it. And we're just a company that really cares about their customers. One of the changes we made in a tub, and I'm going to finish this up, but one of the changes we made in our tub is nurse called us, and she said that she was on her feet 12 hours a day, and when she got home, she'd love to just be able to get a foot soak and a leg soak without taking a full bath, without going full into all the therapies. She just wanted a foot and leg massage because her feet and legs hurt. So the next year, Mike came out with a tub, and you can actually fill it just to the seat instead of all the way up. He put a heated seat and back in every tub and put a diverter valve in it, so you can fill the tub just to the seat level, and you can get a foot and leg bath without taking a full bath. You can actually sit there in your shorts and a t-shirt. You don't have to get all the way wet and get a foot and leg massage. And he did that because of the letter he got from the nurse. Kind of guy he is.